Okay, I think we're on. Hello, hello. Hi, fellow old farts. I'm joined today by Tom Dowling here. We're both in Las Vegas. We're having a very unusual day in Las Vegas, weather-wise here. We've been having thunderstorms and we had 72-mile-an-hour winds tracked at the Henderson Airport here last night. 72 miles an hour.
Knocked down a lot of power poles and around the airport area. In fact, well, it's monsoon season in the Las Vegas Valley. People think I'm making that up.
4 days.
People think I'm making that up, but no, it's all very. They actually on the news call it monsoon season. Yeah.
Well, good. Well, thanks, Tom. Welcome here. Anyone else out there just jumping in? I saw Josh. Josh was here for a minute here, and let's see who else is here. Hey. Yeah. Michael Wright's there.
Michael Wright.
Welcome to jump in here anytime. Barkley is in the chat there. So hi, Barkley.
Hi, Barkley.
Audrey's in the background here.
Hi, Audrey.
Yeah. So Stephen Drums. Hey. All right. Yeah. Good deal. Good. Hold on, I'm going to turn the camera around. We got almost 10 people in the show already here.
Warren is here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, John Coopy. I see John Coopy.
Yeah, John Coopy was in there earlier. I hope he's big, beautiful old farts. Yes, that's it seemed to be the right title for the show today. Big, beautiful old farts.
Yep. Take it for what it means. Yep. Or the big ugly. Also known as the big ugly in some circles, right? Hey, Audrey, how are you?
No.
Good.
So,
hey, Josh has his meetup coming up in September, right? The Northeast
we're
meetup.
Looking forward to that. That's going to be.
That looks good.
That looks like a lot of fun there, and we want to.
Rhode Island is such a great place to visit. Amazing. I mean, the only thing is you could probably get the entire state in one day. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. Beautiful place.
There is some spots there that I'm almost thinking we might want to, because of how beautiful it is, and because of how many open drone spots there are in Rhode Island. I'm almost thinking we have a couple days before the new drone cruise that's going to start in New York. But we may want to do a Rhode Island drone day. That might be that might just add to the event. It really might.
How far away that is?
How far from New York to Rhode Island?
I'm going to say you probably have a 4.5 hour drive.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay.
So I photographed
you got
in Rhode Island in the wintertime, and I had them. It was fun. I had him in a suit, and it was cold out, no coat, and standing in a snow drift with the Capitol behind. It was a really cool shot.
So
we went up there for when we flew with Mark Fisher and Ingrid and Eddie and his wife Roz and myself, and we had a great time up there with those guys. And Ray Kelly was up there. Ray Kelly took the ferry across the Long Island Sound up there, and and then you're right on the border of Massachusetts, so you can jump right across the border. And there's like an area right there where they have several. They actually have a battleship docked there, which is also a great place to fly too. So. Nothing but it's a target-rich environment. Definitely a target-rich environment.
Yeah,
that's why it's going to be a fun cruise.
So Tom, I don't know if I don't know if I've sent. I don't think I've sent you all the details on the cruise yet.
Yeah, I don't think you have.
No, I saw some of the stuff go up. Yeah,
And
I was gonna send it to you, but I haven't gotten everybody yet.
We're trying to we sent it out to all the people that went on the past cruise, of course.
Right.
Right away, and then we have and we've already gotten multiple commitments so far. So we have including our Deb and Keith have already said, hey, nice. We're going.
Yeah, that'll be a great time.
Tom,
it's the whole thing there is just catching those right times to get all that peak in. But as you're going north, okay, like it's not going to be peak down in the Hudson Valley yet. But as you start to go north, especially when you get up towards Maine, those colors are just going to burst out at you. It's just an amazing time of year up there. Yep.
It's one of those, on the Old Fart group, we go through the seasons and we see drone footage all the time from everywhere, kind of thing.
Right.
And I have to tell you, some of us who are here in Las Vegas, I mean, in my entire neighborhood, I think there might be 2 trees that turn colors in my entire neighborhood.
They go from brown to browner. Yes.
We have a palm tree across the street from our house, and it was so bad.
We thought that was going down last night.
It would have hit right on my room where my office is. I was scared. Actually. So
well, everywhere we drove after the storm yesterday, there was nothing but palm husks. All over the streets, everywhere. That's how, and that tells you how bad the wind is. Yeah. But you know what? Look, we just got back from South Carolina, and it is so green and lush, and damn that humidity. That's all I have to say.
That's why it's green.
Oh my goodness!
Together.
A beach wedding. Well, they had the ceremony out on the back lawn of this Citadel Beach Club. Right on the beach, not a single breeze. Okay, not a single breeze at all.
Beautiful.
And it was a semi-formal, so So it would have been. I was wearing a dark suit, and first cursing that we were wearing suits. But I'm glad I was wearing a dark suit because the poor guys that were all wearing the light suits, they sweat right through them. You could see. Oh man. But good thing the reception was inside. And I gotta say,
at a wedding,
great food. That whole area, just great Southern cooking. It was a good time. Yeah.
Barkley's asking if we saw a Tin Man, a Cowardly Lion, and a Scarecrow.
I'm pretty sure I saw somebody's house flying by. Okay.
There was a witch on a bicycle. Just
and that's a normal Las Vegas driver, by the way. You understand that, right? Okay.
So Tom, have you ever been to Nona's in Staten Island? It's a restaurant. They did a movie.
The one that's in the movie, and the movie's great, by the way.
It is
great. With Vince Vaughn.
We watched it.
It's a good movie. For us, going to Staten Island is like going to the Ozarks. Okay, it's just a different breed of people there. No, I'm kidding. I spent some time in Staten Island. You know what? There's so many great places to eat.
I just want to go there.
Yeah, that restaurant's still there. It's still going. Still a neighborhood favorite. Yeah, still a neighborhood favorite. But all kinds of food. It's not just Italian anymore. Okay.
Yeah, that's what they
Yeah.
So hey, Lance says I swam with a hammerhead shark yesterday.
Whoa.
Footage at 11. I think you're in Kauai. Is that correct, Lance, I think Lance is currently in
On
Kauai.
vacation, and
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Hawaii.
and we've been to Kauai, and
Beautiful.
I have to tell you that is, boy, and I wish I would have had a drone then. You know,
Yep.
that was before my drone days, and I mean, the Napalai Coast there, you know, that's of course where they filmed Jurassic Park and all that. But I mean, it is just one of the most beautiful spots on the earth, that's for sure. And then we went snorkeling in the right along the Napalai Coast there, and
That was amazing.
boy, that is something else. We caught I went deep sea fishing, and we caught a big mahi, and we brought half of it back to a restaurant near our hotel, and they fed us like kings. You know, they were so excited, and
they did some spices on that fish like I've never tasted.
it was
before.
wonderful.
It was incredible.
But yeah, we love it there. And John Coopy says he loves the Ozarks. Tom.
Yeah, no, he got that reference. John being local, he got that reference definitely. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like who married whose cousin. Okay, Staten Island. Yes, I'm disparaging Staten Island. Yep. It's one of the outer boroughs we were trying to give away on a regular basis. It's just, you know.
I don't want the island. I just want to go to the restaurant.
We want the Italian food made by the nanas, you know.
Nonas.
The nonas.
Nona.
Yes. Yep. That's what we want, you know. A weird pronunciation. Napulai Coast. Yes, that's right, Lance. Oh, cool. So listen, let me put it in again. If anybody else wants to jump in here, we've got a couple products we want to show you today. But you know, anything else anybody has conversation about, you know, I'm hoping and praying, okay, that we soon have some positive news to tell people about the DJI drone situations here. And I'm a forever optimist, as most of you know. But I'm definitely believing that there is going to be some positive things to report.
Well, when there is, be the first to report it.
Yeah, well, I'm a big believer in fair play, and I'm just hoping that prevails at some point. DJI just recently put out their security white paper. I think it's a very important read, especially, I mean, it's great bedtime reading because you will nod out in about a page and a half, but it just goes to show you that they're FIPS compliant, okay? They've met all security requirements. You know, like all of this is nonsense, and we know it's nonsense, but my biggest fear is the fact that you take them out of the equation, and there are no consumer-based drones available in the U.S., which, you know, when that's a stepping stone, especially for the younger crowd, to get into aviation. And that also, you know, puts us behind the eight ball, because even on the enterprise side of the fence, when you turn around and look at the fact that these U.S. companies won't have anybody to compete against, to me, leads me to believe that they'll drag their feet when it comes to innovation also. So, you know,
we need young people flying drones. We need the future of the industry. The drones are going to be an industry, whether you like it or not.
Right.
In our future, and that's the case, you know. Just like cell phones, it became an industry in our future, you know, back in 1995, you know. I mean, I got this brick thing, we all had bricks,
I had the one in my job vehicle, okay, earlier than that, which was more a novelty than anything. Hey, guess where I'm calling you from? It's like, but,
exactly.
look at where we are today, that people can't be more than 10 minutes without their phone today, without withdrawals, right? Yeah, I know, Audrey, please. If Roz were in the room, I'd be pointing at her, okay? But so that's something. And here's some other news too. Part 108, okay?
Yes.
So all you Part 107 holders, Bob and myself included, look forward to Part 108 and the potential that beyond visual line of sight might be a thing. And guess who won't be eligible? Bob and I, because we are not considered under Part 108 to be commercial. We're considered to be private, okay? Even though we're certified, okay? So Part 108 was written for the Walmarts and the Amazons and the UPSs.
Yeah.
And
for
actually
Walmart,
not written for us lowly 107s, okay? So, there's a lot going on out there. You got to keep your ear to the track. So,
and I think that we're going to see more and more of, understanding of why we need drones and why we need quality drones. And, I really, unfortunately, believe right now, so many people believe drones are just a weapon of war. A big chunk of people, that's all they have in their head.
In this country, okay, the current estimate, which I checked yesterday, was 120,000 drone businesses employing close to 400,000 people. Okay?
Yeah.
And that's that's conservative estimates that these businesses will be directly impacted because the current stats also show that 91% of those businesses rely on product from DJI. And so that becomes a problem. And, okay, the latest news out there is DJI stopped offering Care Refresh. Yes, DJI put all of their items out of stock on their website. Yes, and there's a reason for that. They're not abandoning this market. What they're trying to do is maintain their customer reputation.
Right.
And, they don't want to sell you a drone that gets stopped by at the border. And then you're pissed off, not at CBP, but you're pissed off at DJI. Or DJI sells you a Care Refresh plan, but can't fulfill it. So DJI made the corporate decision to pull back. And, they're providing these services in every other country except ours right now.
Yep.
And that's because they don't, look at it. Bob and I had a conversation before the show started. I was looking to purchase, the RC Pro 2. And I can get one from Matarama, but at $1,599. Okay.
Yeah.
And the device retail is $999. So, you're paying an extra $600 because of the nonsense that's happening today. We have no stability in this market of ours, or this, community pipeline of ours. So, it's going to definitely cause problems. And I'm hoping it, believing in fair play, and I'm going to keep believing in fair play, that this gets worked out. The big hope is that a competent and objective federal agency will do the security audit as required by an executive order, so that we can get this resolved.
And I'm going to guess from I'm going to say a semi-educated guess that there are 2 or 3 agencies at this moment in play. And
one of them I'll say, Bob, is NIST. And that, I think, is our best bet. The National Institute of Standards and Technology. I've worked with them in the past. We helped to build the NIST training course with the buckets, and they've always been a very objective group. And I'm hoping that they're one of the ones tasked to do this. They've done it in the past, and actually NIST found that DJI's drones were compliant. And if you read this white paper, you'll be able to see that DJI is one of the few companies that provides you the opportunity to completely air gap your drone. Okay. And also provides mechanisms for you to get firmware without attaching to any other network. So there are opportunities here that actually aren't being addressed by companies within the U.S. So
now, if you're just looking at this table of contents, you can see here, you know, I mean, they have covered so much here. I mean, this is not just the security root of the firmware, so that the what can't sneak into the inside of, you know, so somebody can load something on there and know that there isn't something unbeknownst to them underneath of it, because they're making it all public. There is,
you know, Bob, one of the things is that they are the only drone manufacturer that offers a bug bounty. Okay. And what that means is if you find a vulnerability, okay, they want to know immediately, and they will pay you a bounty for finding it. And this comes out of, and I know there's individuals out there that'll say, well, DJI had this big vulnerability. Okay, tell me Microsoft hasn't had vulnerabilities. Tell me even McAfee hasn't had vulnerabilities. McAfee, a security company. Vulnerabilities. Right. But that vulnerability, that's 6 years old, that vulnerability, by the way. Okay. And that 6-year-old vulnerability was patched within days. And that was the first individual who got a bounty. They didn't even offer a bounty back then, but they thought it was so important, okay, that they put this bounty program together. And all the reputable companies on the cybersecurity side of the fence now do a very similar program. So, you know, it's hard, and I agree with you, Barkley. It's hard because we're dealing actually not with the security issue. We're dealing with xenophobia. Okay, it's a Chinese company. That's it. Not possible. That's all. Close the books. You know, and that will be our downfall here. And you know what? It's going to wind up putting us behind every other country, because, you know, if a U.S. company doesn't have a mark to shoot for, they're going to drag their feet. Now, you'll say, okay, Tom's a Skydio hater. I'm not a Skydio hater. I think Skydio's got a lot of great people. Okay. Unfortunately, those great people are not in the C-level, not in the top management positions. And I think those are the people who have to go at Skydio to make it a viable company. Okay. You know, we'll voice our opinions, Bob, when we go to commercial UAV.
It's my opinion, and it's only an opinion. It's my opinion they're dragging their feet about getting those done. Those, what's it called, that they
security review.
Because they don't want it to show that they can't ban DJI anymore after that. And so
it's, you know, if it doesn't happen within a certain amount of time, Audrey, you're 100% correct. They'll be automatically banned. Okay. Now, of course, they have a lawsuit out there to get themselves off that exception
Yeah.
list. But again, we've learned over the years that if you can drag things out long enough, okay, we can slow down progress, and that's unfortunately what we might be looking at.
Yeah,
Well,
out of sight,
you know what?
out of mind.
Yeah, it's tough, and all we can do at this point is continue to leverage the Drone Advocacy Alliance, continue to correspond and communicate with your lawmakers.
That's
okay,
right. Very important.
I wrote an op-ed that's published on the East Coast. I've done a radio spot that ran through the New York airwaves, and and anybody that can speak up, please do, because we can fly what we have, okay, right now, okay, but how long do we have?
Yeah,
is the good question.
Yeah,
okay.
When our batteries wear out, we can't get
and that's
battery.
Well, that's also the weak link for U.S. companies, is it not, Bob?
Yes.
Doesn't somebody only sell a drone with a single battery, and you have to wait a god awful amount of time?
Skydio has a problem because they can't get batteries from China.
Well, that's you piss down somebody's throat long enough, they're not going to like the taste.
Yes. Yeah, I think we should. Somebody should illustrate this by taking everything inside of their house that is connected in any way to China and put that out on the street. Okay.
Well, their whole house would be on the street.
See what you got left.
Well, the scarier proposition in our community is the poor FPV pilot, the home builder, because you can't get those components.
Nobody in the United States is making
built in the U.S. No, they're not making ESCs and
there are no drone motors made in the United States. No.
And we can print our own frames, but that's about it. Okay, we can't go any further than that. Yeah, exactly. What, the one I got sitting next to me? Yep.
Yes, a Chinese printer. Yes.
Yeah, a former DJI employee.
Yes.
Started Bamboo, right? Bamboo Lab. Yep. Yeah. But let's all walk around with our cell phones and think everything's hunky dory. Okay. Until that next cell phone costs you $3,500.
It's not, because anytime that you go online anywhere just to investigate something, some product or something, the next thing you know, you're getting 50 million things on your cell phone about that kind of product. So don't tell me that.
Oh no, I've stood there and talked to friends about something, and then an hour later I've got an ad on Facebook for it, so
but Audrey, my identity was stolen as a result of a U.S. company.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. And we're concerned about everyone else. My whole point is cybersecurity standards need to be set, but they need to be set for all manufacturers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not just the foreign manufacturers. Because the U.S. manufacturers, unfortunately, without oversight and regulation, are going to drop the ball on us.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Okay, this concludes our political segment of the show.
So, tell us about your new glasses, Tom.
Oh, so I was looking for something. Look, Bob, these eyes aren't getting any damn younger, and boy, did the good Lord turn up the brightness out here, huh? So when I go out to fly my drones out here, the big problem I always run into is my RC2 controller, which is better than the RC controller, okay, still isn't bright enough. And then you've seen me, Bob, where then now I got another monitor sitting on top of that, and it just gets
high res.
I get I get a high nit monitor a field monitor sitting on top of that, and you know it's a whole production to try to get that out and get up and fly, right? So not being able or not willing to separate with $1,600 for an RC2 Pro, I started doing some research. And I came up with we should classify these, the Eddie Nunez stylish glasses here. But no,
Nice.
these are not Metas. These are not Metas. What these are is, this is a company called X-Real. X-Real is basically, these are a viewing product. It's not a camera, so I don't have a camera on there. But what I do have is I have 2 OLED screens inside of these, and any source that I can connect to that has USB-C out video, I now am seeing everything on this screen as a basically almost a 50-inch monitor being viewed from. I see them inside the glasses on these OLED screens. Now, the thing is, when you take them off, they go dark because I don't have them on my head. And let's see if there's any way we can get, you can start to see an image in there, right? It's the same image.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
Now,
pretty cool.
the other cool thing about these is, if you notice, the sunglasses are on the outside of the image. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm not wearing sunglasses, then looking at the RC2 monitor, which to me completely wipes out everything. Here I got polarized UV sunglasses on the outside of these. So, and I can even now just click real quick, and I can actually set these to where I'm seeing straight through. Now I can see my entire environment through these. Or I can make them go
Would you drive with them?
dark. I would not, okay? Just because any distraction is not a good distraction when you're driving. But they have prismatic lenses in them, and you can actually get a lens correction for these. So they basically run around $500. So it's not cheap. But I've already tested them with my RC2. Remember, on the RC2, you have USB-C video out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I plug them right in, and now I can see crystal clear. Okay.
Oh, wonderful.
And I can set that monitor up to basically you got a 50-degree viewing angle, okay, in front of you. So, and there's no flicker. The color quality is excellent on them. You can make adjustments. You can have them, as you move your head, the screen stays with you, or you can anchor the screen so as you look away, the screen stays where it is and you're out looking outside its view. So it's got a lot of functionality there. And the best part, I think, about these, you don't have to ever charge these, because these don't have a battery. They run off of that USB-C. And they only take they take such little amount of power to run that it doesn't negatively impact your battery on your source device. Okay. So, you know, I had them run for a while off of the RC2, and I saw no battery drop as a result of these. I mean, it was that minuscule that you wouldn't even notice it. So it's something to consider. I mean, you know, like I said, these eyes aren't getting any younger. And, you know, as a photographer, and Audrey, you're very familiar with this, is that you want to be able to see what you're framing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And when you're looking at a screen that's washed out because the blazing sun out here, now you're trying to seek out some shade someplace. Okay. And those of us that then have to wear reading glasses, okay, still have something else to deal with. Or like me, I have these transitional frames that once they go dark, it takes about 10 minutes for them to lighten up.
Yeah. And you look like
and
you're a
trying to-
hood in,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
bifocals. I don't like transitional things, but I have bifocals in my sunglasses, and so that helps. But I agree
Yes.
with you. You know, it's
Yeah, as do I, and I have the new ones. We just got our new glasses, and I do have the transitionals with the bifocal. I'm farsighted, so I have no problem there whatsoever. But as I'm getting older, the stuff closer is more difficult to read, especially textual content. The one thing I loved about this was all the text within DJI Fly was crisp.
Oh.
And that was without using any lens correction inside these devices.
amazing.
So, and you can move the image out further from you. Like it starts off as being a big screen, and there's no lag between the eyes, and it automatically adjusts to that interpupillary distance. Okay, because we're all slightly different, right? But there was no, how you would sometimes get the blurriness on the edges. I didn't have any of that with these.
Oh,
So,
good.
I'm so looking forward to
And
getting
they're
out
not
there.
made by DJI?
They're not made by DJI, but no doubt they're not made here. So,
Yeah.
but
So
the
put a
company
link in the
is-
chat. I'll put
Yeah,
it
I'll
up
put
on
a
the
link.
screen.
I'll put a link in the chat. It's the ones, of course, I love packaging also. So
Oh,
this
that's
is a
cool.
company called X-Reel. I'll put the link up. Right now, you probably get a decent discount because the Pro version, these are the X-Reel ones, and then the X-Reel 1 Pros are coming out in a month or two. I checked because they have all the stats, all the specs up online, and I've looked at some reviews. It's not worth the extra $150. So this is definitely a good buy at this point, and I think they're offering like a $70 discount on these right now. So I'll definitely get something up for you.
Seems like an interesting drone accessory here, especially since you are not cutting off your vision, and you're able to fly the drone.
Visual line of sight. Yep.
Yeah.
Visual line of sight. And the other thing is, Bob, you've flown numerous times now with using the goggles.
Yeah.
And the problem with the goggles is you don't have any view outside of those goggles.
No
and
perception.
And that always concerns me, right?
Is somebody walking up on me, or someone walking up in front of me or behind me, or what? I have no idea. So I got in the chat here. Concerning. I got to tell you, Brad Austin.
Hi, Brad.
Says hi to Audrey.
Hi, Brad.
And John Flynn has joined us there. Hi, John.
Hi, John.
Yep. And Bill Thomas is in there. And yeah. So that definitely good. So yeah, we've said hi to Barkley already. Is Jenna there too? I don't know. I haven't seen.
Yeah, he said earlier that Jenna said hello.
Jenna said hello. Okay.
Yeah, I talked to Jenna, but I haven't talked to Barkley. So
yeah,
I have to tell you, Marcus sent us videos that he did on our last cruise, and I sent them all to Virgin, to my people at Virgin, that gave us the space to do those, and they were blown away. I mean, and Marcus also included, we're on a Virgin cruise, and here's where we are, and blah 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 blah. It was the videos were fabulous, and
I've been watching those.
Yeah. Our status with Virgin Cruise Line is moving forward here, and
so they're doing everything they can to try and make sure that we have a good experience on this one, and that's why they're going to do our own personal. They call it an open house, where they tell you all about Virgin.
It's going to be online.
It's so I have people coming, from New York to LA, so and it's going to be on July 23rd. That's a Wednesday at 5 o'clock Pacific time. So people will be able to log in to those or register to come. And everybody that does so will get a $50 bar tab just for showing up.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Every little bit helps. And they're just excited. You know, he said to me after he looked at Marcus's videos, he said, I can't wait to see what you do on this one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know, so the other thing, right, that I would suggest people start planning for is remember that you'll be moving from one country to another. So you'll be in
you gotta bring
Canada.
you definitely need a passport.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You need your passport card or your passport. But the other thing is,
you can't get into Canada with a card.
I don't think so. You
yeah,
have to,
passport. Yeah, the passport card as an RVer, the passport card is valid both cruise and border crossing.
Oh,
so,
really?
Okay. Yeah, the passport card is into Canada. The passport card is a full passport according to Canada. But the other thing you got to start thinking about is getting your self-credentialed to fly a drone in Canada.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, that as well.
So this way you can avail yourself of that target-rich environment that you're going to be going to. And great people up there, by the way. Oh, Nova Scotia, they're wonderful people.
Yeah.
Wonderful people. Oh, and great news, Brad, congratulations. Brad got a job.
Yay!
So happy to hear that, Brad.
Damn.
So happy to hear that, man.
Oh.
Okay.
What are
That's
you doing,
fantastic.
Brad?
How good.
Yeah.
Come on in and tell us about it.
Yeah, Brad, can you join the show? Tell us what's happening. We're thrilled to hear that. Thank you. That's good. Start working with ATMs again. That's been his livelihood for a long time.
Congratulations, bro.
Yeah. Since we started talking about about this, I thought let's take a look here and so that everybody can see what we're talking about here. If you don't mind.
They loved your design too, by the way. I sent that
to them
yesterday. Yeah.
Good.
So those two spots in Canada that you're going to be going to, you definitely need, St. John's in New Brunswick and Halifax up in Nova Scotia. These are Canadian territories, and you will need to be properly credentialed there. Okay,
right.
In order to even get on the cruise ship in New York, they're going to need your passport.
Okay. Yeah.
And they're not going to let you on.
When the last
without,
probably 10 cruise ships I've gotten on, you had to wait in line with your passport open, with your tickets, with your confirmation. You got to, and I mean, they it's pretty normal, no matter what you're doing.
And remember,
standard fare, and now especially, it's it's just better to have it. And
remember, New York is now recreational cannabis. Be very careful because do not bring any of that on board because besides most cruise ships don't allow it, you are crossing into another country. And even though all of Canada is recreational cannabis, you will get arrested for crossing the border.
You're in international waters at some point in time here.
Also, one other thing you need to check is you need to check your prescriptions and ensure that those prescriptions are actually legal up in Canada as well. There's one or two drugs that are legal in the U.S. that aren't legal, like Japan. Japan doesn't allow certain prescription drugs in their country. So, also now the new TSA rules is you have to bring the original containers with you.
Now, I took photographs of the original containers.
That's a good way to do it, Bob, but I would take a photograph with one of the pills sitting next to it
Yeah.
see
the
what it
pills
looks
are
like.
easily
Yeah,
identifiable. Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's right about
This is
that.
what old farts talk about on drone shows. Okay.
How many pills you got?
Because we want to slide right through customs, you know.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
never a problem. So here's some of the group from the past cruise. Here there's Marcus and Sarah and Barkley and Jenna and me and Audrey and Julio and Evelyn Santiago there. And then in this picture down here, that's my cousin Mary Kay, and then her husband Mike and Audrey, and then me and my cousin Debbie, and her husband Tony, and
who is now getting a drone because
we infected him. He got drone
You made him
fever.
feel left out.
Huh?
You made him feel left out.
He was.
Yeah.
We got drone fever now.
Mary Kay is the one who had the drone. She had a nice drone too.
Mary Kay had a Mini 4 Pro. Yeah.
So, and they're all in too for the September sailing. So
here is a look of one of the rooms. Virgin is like, very cool. The lighting in this room you see there is done. Each room has an iPad. Okay.
Everything is
and everything is on this iPad. The TV is on the iPad, the room lighting, the curtains, everything in the room. You can turn every light off from the iPad, kind of thing. So you can.
I know the techno part is what excites you, Bob.
Yes.
But people are most excited about that hammock that's on the balcony.
The hammock on the balcony. The red hammock on the balcony there.
People were down there buying those hammocks because they are so good.
I think Barkley and Jenna bought hammocks.
They did.
Yeah. They're these red hammocks are on every balcony, every room.
Balcony.
Yep, every balcony there. And here's the where we're going, and here's the prices. And
Scarlet Night, the most fun party on the ship.
Yeah. Everybody dresses in red, and it is a wild occurrence.
Well, you can tell by that picture down below.
Yes. And that's our friends. That's Julio with the red glasses on back there. I don't know. You see, that's Frank back there, and Evelyn, and his wife's back there, and Jerry and Jean, and me looking stupid at the camera. So, all good. Anybody interested in this? Contact me.
Is that the price? Is that the price per person, or is that the price
No,
for
cabin.
Yeah.
Cabin.
2 per cabin, right? Yeah, good.
2 people.
Good.
And that includes everything. It includes your
taxes, port fees.
Yeah.
We just made an all-inclusive everything price.
That's the best way. Best way to do it. Yep.
It's an all-inclusive price.
But
that's
for your bar tab.
That's what I wanted you to get out there, so people realize what they're getting included in that price.
Yeah, no, that's 2 people, 8 nights in on a truly luxury cruise line with many 20 restaurants, but many really high-end restaurants.
6 or 7, I forget.
And no extra charge for any of the high-end restaurants.
Right. You just have to make reservations.
You just have to make reservations. That's it.
And Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And fitness classes for those who like to do that kind of stuff. They have yoga and something with a bungee cord and I don't know, whatever else they have. And they play a lot of games out there. So I was watching some game that they were playing.
Yeah.
Boy, they just get into all kinds of
stuff. If you're into physical fitness, it's it's a cruise line for you.
And then if you want to relax, they have a really nice spa. I got a great massage.
I did laps with Marcus.
On the top deck.
Yeah. We did laps together.
Yeah. There's always a walking track.
Yes.
So some people might wind up going to New York a couple of days earlier.
Absolutely.
There might be one or two things in New York you could do.
Right, but let me caution you, please, please, please consult with the Dempseys before you make your hotel reservations in New York City, because some of these ads are going to look fantastic, but when you find out you're in the middle of a housing project someplace, okay, not necessarily in the best neighborhoods, okay, you will be hard pressed to make the cruise in time. So, you know, make sure you consult with the Dempseys, okay. No doubt.
We're going to work on a couple of places that
I would say keep it, you know, you can probably get some decent rates in the Times Square area, which is on the west side of Manhattan. And the cruise ship's going to leave from the west side of Manhattan. It's basically the pier is going to be, what is it like? Probably Pier 86 or something like that. So that's going to be in the 50s. About 53rd, 54th Street, you know, Times Square runs.
I'm going to check with the Virgin Hotel too.
See if they have any package rates.
So,
yeah, exactly. And, you know, because
look into it too. So
good.
And she also said in September, when we're going to be there, and she's going to double check on all those. They have a 2-for-1 show tickets for Broadway shows, and I don't know about anybody else, but that's where I want to be. So
well, there's a concession in Times Square called Tickets, TKTS. Okay, those are same day tickets. You go early in the morning. Okay, there's one in downtown Brooklyn also. But you can definitely score yourself some good Broadway show tickets.
I've waited in that line myself.
We have done that.
Yes, I got there at 8 o'clock in the morning and stood in line.
Yeah, and you don't have to go to the M&M store there. You can wait till you come to the Vegas Drone Meetup to go to the M&M store. Okay. So you figure everything you have in Times Square, we got on the Strip as well.
That's true.
Okay.
True.
But what do we have as far as meetups coming up? We have the Northeast meetup in September. We got the Vegas Drone meetup November 7th, 8th, and 9th. And then we got the South Florida Drone meetup. Okay.
April 10th, 11th, and 12th this year.
So they moved those dates back a little, right? Yeah. So
back a week because of, I think Easter is what the way that the calendar fell this year is that that first weekend in April is Easter in 26. So.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
So that's why they moved it back a week. And as we all are supporting each other in these drone meetup things here, and we want to see, everybody enjoy every one of them if you can. I know there's not a lot of Michael Wrights out there that will be at every single one. Mike already has his hotel in Las Vegas. We've he's already confirmed for all kinds of stuff here. And
a recommendation for that, Bob, is if you're going to be staying on the Strip during the Vegas Drone meetup, pick one of the casino hotels that are on the east side of the Strip, not on the west side of the Strip, because of F1 Formula Racing is 2 weeks after that. Right. And they basically, it's a tough area to get around.
Construction of viewing stands will be everywhere.
One of the best rates I found just going on Trivago was actually at the Virgin Hotel, which it was horrible before when they first took over, but I had a meeting there last month, and they have done an incredible job.
That's the Ken Dono, Billy Kyle.
I know.
Vegas residents, right? I think they have a residency.
One meetup we forgot is Minefield, the Ken Herron birthday celebration.
Ken, right.
Yes,
yeah. What's the dates on that one?
Yes.
Right. What's the dates on that one, Bob?
It's usually, I think it's August or September, I think. Anybody out
Right.
there know the dates of Minefield? I don't know.
Yeah, we got to get. We
Minefield
should
Super
get
6.
that one posted also.
Yeah.
Oh, and Bob, from my Carolina trip, I put out a nice little video. It wasn't too long.
Oh, good.
I did.
Let's see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, put the link
You
up.
see that one?
Put it
Yeah,
up.
we'll
You
get
got it.
that link up.
You should have full control of this.
Yeah, let me get that.
You can share screen.
He's
Yeah, I can. Yeah,
admin on
I
mine.
gotta.
That's what I'm saying. You can share screen.
I'm up there. I just got to get to it. This was
Oh, Brad,
unplanned.
now that you're working again, you'll be able to come on the cruise this time.
He left. He said, "Okay,
Oh, he
Brent,
did?
He had to go through his onboarding.
onboarding for the new job."
Yeah, he had to get on his onboarding. So
Yeah.
let
Cruise
me
looks
get that
amazing.
screen.
The prayers worked. Was worried, going to have to start taking Social Security now at least another 3 to 5 years before retiring. That's the plan.
Was that Brad?
Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah, hopefully you can still.
Now he can afford this. All right, good. That's great.
Okay.
Great.
Here's
All right,
the
Tom,
video.
let's see it.
I'm going to see Tom's video and then I'm going to go do some work.
Okay.
Oh, the problem. Wait. Let me just start it over. Hold on. Go.
Okay. I'm going to make it full screen here. I'm not getting the audio.
No, why not? That I don't understand.
But I'm seeing beautiful picture.
Do you have the audio?
It's all about the audio. It's all about the audio.
Hang on and stop it. Hold on.
Yeah, hold on. How about you run it, Bob? I'll send you the link real quick.
Okay.
I don't know if it'll make a difference, but we'll try. Right? Okay. There we go. I'm going to stop and take this off of the screen. Right? Okay. And I'm going to send it to you in the chat.
Okay. Well,
while you're doing that, I'm
We'll
sure
give it a
glad
try.
I got my replacement drone while I still could. And and we got my wrap that I had. So Bob now just has to wrap it. So
Oh, cool. You got the same wrap?
yeah.
Cool.
Exactly the same. Yeah.
okay, I got it.
There's your sound down there.
Yeah, hold on.
Undo the sound.
Hold on. I got to share this. Hold
And then you got to start it over.
on. Okay. Present. Here we go. Chrome tab of Charleston. And here we go.
Back it up too.
Turn it up.
South of Broad, a name that evokes elegance, quiet grandeur, and centuries of Southern heritage. As the day begins over Charleston, the neighborhood glows with a timeless warmth. Graceful mansions line the avenues, framed by flowing trees and wrought iron gates. Above them all, the steeple of the Cathedral of St. John the Baptist rises, a sentinel over the city's soul. In the distance, the Arthur Ravenel Jr. Bridge spans the water, linking the city's storied health to the rhythm of the modern day, its white cables reaching like sails towards the sky. Charleston is a city of steeples, from the stately tower of St. Philip's to the white spire of St. Michael's. Each one tells a story of faith, resilience, and enduring grace. At the tip of the peninsula, White Point Garden lies beneath a canopy of live oaks. Here, history lives in stillness beneath draping Spanish moss and century-old cannons aimed at memory. Turning west, the camera follows the curve of the seawall along Murray Boulevard, where water laps gently and time drifts with the tide. Here, Charleston feels eternal. The soft light, the salt air, the sound of the harbor, they belong as much to today as they did 100 years ago. This is south of Broad, a quiet corner of Charleston, where every street is a story and every view a promise to return. Thanks for joining me on this short little journey.
There's Roz and there's Tom.
Yep.
Tom, I would have thought that you had somebody else do the audio on that, except for the words. I couldn't tell it was you. Certain words that your accent comes out on. But it sounded great.
So, yeah, put us back up, Bob. Here we go. There we go. Yeah, you know what? I wrote the script, and of course, the New York accent really didn't work very well.
You needed a Southern accent, yeah.
I basically ran it through Epidemic's narration voiceovers, and I went through a few of them until I found the voice that seemed to work well with the video. And you know, I had to go through it a couple of times, but it actually was a lot of fun to do it this way.
Yeah, it's a great voice.
Yeah.
But I know it wasn't quite your voice, but the words, some of those words
Right.
were like, that's Tom.
Yeah, yep. I'm a wordsmith, if not anything else, right? But one of the things,
all good.
one of the, one of the things I liked about it was I like videos that tell you something about what's going on.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know, what am I looking at? What's important? Well, you know, call out things in the scene. You know, so I like that a lot. I like, you know, like Quackers does that a lot, Bob. Right?
Yeah,
I mean,
Quackers does that. Jeff Norman does that also.
Yeah,
You know,
Marcus,
I mean,
everything Marcus does is,
yeah,
you know, he's got that voiceover
full
going, and I
narration,
quite enjoy that. Yeah, I quite
Yes.
enjoy that. Yeah.
Good.
If I'm doing a video about Yankee Stadium, it'll probably be my voice you hear. But other than that, I'll probably use some stand-ins. Okay.
Speaking of that, Jeff Norman today posted a great shot of Yankee Stadium.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's posted a great drone
I saw
shot
that.
of Yankee Stadium.
Our supposed new A's stadium that they're going to build has made national news now that they don't have the actual money to build it.
They don't have enough money to make it.
So
Go figure.
continued.
Well, so we may or may not have a baseball team in Las Vegas.
You know, we'll have a baseball team because it's too lucrative.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at like T-Mobile, or you look at the Allegiant, right? Even though we forked over bond money for these things, those teams are making money hand over fist.
Yep.
You know, the great thing about Las Vegas is, yeah, we have hometown fans, but those hometown fans are always supplemented by the tourist.
Yes, they
So
are. Lots of them.
you tell me when T-Mobile isn't at full capacity, or Allegiant isn't at full capacity,
No,
right?
they're
I
all-
mean,
Very rare.
No.
yeah.
I went to a Blackhawks game. We went to a Blackhawks game, and there were probably more Blackhawk fans at the
Right.
at T-Mobile,
Yeah.
and there were night fans. You know.
Right,
So,
exactly.
Speaking of nights, we had a lot of good news here. You know.
Bye,
the
Take care, Audrey.
the top free agent, you know, has signed with Las Vegas here. So, You know, we are thrilled that that's happening. He's going to make a lot of money.
Yep. Well, if you look, what is it? The New York Mets are still paying Bobby Bonilla. Okay. I think at 60 something years old, he's still getting a payment of 1.9 million a year, you know. So hey, those deferred contracts really work out well. Unfortunately for the player, not for the team. But you know what? Hey, maybe there won't be a three-peat for a certain NHL team as a result. So let's see.
Well,
Okay.
let's hope so. You know, let's hope we take them again. You know, we beat them once already. We can beat them again.
Do it. You know? We can do it. You know, and that's, you know, and I actually would love to see the New York Rangers versus the Golden Knights also. So yeah, I'll just put that out there. Okay. That would be a good one.
That would be a good game. You know, I would definitely get a big audience. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Yes,
you'd
be able to fill it with locals because locals in New York is out here. So
yeah, you know? Right. Yeah. All right, I'm going to wrap it up, Tom.
Sounds good.
Okay. Good Anybody show, interested? Give me a holler if you're interested in either the Vegas drone meetup, of course, or any drone meetup. I would be more than happy to help you find out all the details about. And the fall drone cruise in not this fall, 2026, fall of 2026. So you got like a year and a half to save. I think to put in your reservation right now, I think it's, and Audrey will correct me, I guarantee you, but I think it's going to be around a $600 deposit, okay, to nail down your cruise cabin there. And they only sell it per cabin. That's the way that they sell their cruises, okay? So when you see any of the prices, that's per cabin, 2 occupants, okay? You can have 3 occupants, but they do charge you a little more, okay?
Right.
Some cabins can have 3. Not every cabin can do that, but anyway.
It depends on what you're into.
Yeah, that's right. All right.
We're not judging. Okay,
No. All right, Michael saying go Stars. All right, Michael. I saw you guys lost to Robinson. Oh my goodness, you know. Yeah, this is always a strange time of the year for hockey fans. You know, we have this 5 months of the year without hockey. It's tough, you know.
Yep.
All right,
Bob. I just want to say one other thing, Bob.
Sure.
If anybody that's out there, hey, if you know a veteran, okay, get together with them, take them out to fly, okay.
Yes.
It's a great way to release tension and pent up energy. And I'm working right now with the VA, you know, with putting together some programs out there, you know, to get veterans, especially those with PTSD, get them involved in flying. You know, it's like I said, a great release, and we all know that.
Wonderful there, right? As our friend Bill Thomas here can attest. His show is called Drone Therapy, and it truly is a therapy. And
it absolutely is.
This is great for the veterans and you know, anyone that's suffering.
And Bob, we're going to be getting in front of a bunch of kids soon too. So, you know, trying to help STEM education and get out there and talk to a bunch of these summer camp programs and then the after school programs coming up soon in the school year. So, you know, wherever you can get involved, get involved and let's grow our community.
That's right. That's right. Keep helping kids, you know, learn drones. We need them. We need them. We're going to need them.
Absolutely.
All right, everyone. thank you all for finding your way here. And I will see you again next week. And we'll see what kind of show we can put together next week. Thank you all for your time. I appreciate it.
Take care, everyone.
All righty. Bye-bye now. And that button and that.